Hey, welcome, Ryan. I've been meaning to ask you some questions about the ToolBevy,
All right.
and so I can get caught up and find out what's going on with it.
All right, let's do it.
Ryan, let's get started. What is ToolBevy?
Well, ToolBevy is an app that allows neighbors to rent tools from neighbors. So instead of going to Home Depot or some other big box retailers, you can just rent tools from people down the street or in a closer proximity to your house or to the job that you're working on.
That sounds like a great idea. How did you come up with ToolBevy?
There was three main things that really inspired this. One, my next door neighbor and I would always rent tools from each other. And then I got to the point that I knew I had the tool, but it was buried in my shed. And since it was being borrowed, I really didn't have an incentive to go get it. And so if I had a couple dollars, $5, or some incentive to go get it, I'd be more inclined to go get the tool. And then another thing that I noticed is that a few people in our family, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and myself, we all had the same tools. And it was like, okay, why are we all buying the same tools? It seemed to be almost overkill that we're all spending this exorbitant amount of money for a pressure washer, and each one of us has it. And then lastly, I had a job to do about soft washing somebody's roof, and I had to buy a soft wash machine for $800. I did the job in one day and I never used the tool. And it just felt like, why couldn't I have just rented the tool instead of buying it? I could have saved myself tons of money. Those three elements was really the motivating factor to create ToolBevy, and it was the inspiration.
It's fascinating. How is it being received?
You know, a lot of people, when they hear about ToolBevy, they love the idea. Everybody. The other day, I was passing out business flyers and a group of three guys, they're like, dude, I love this idea. That's awesome. So many times people always tell me that they just love the idea. And now it's on me to kind of just really inspire people to download the app, list the tools that they want, and just support the app.
How many tools do you have there?
Currently, we only have 39 tools, but we're in three different states, and there's 34 tools in Cutler Bay alone and in Homestead and Cutler Bay. So we have 39 tools, we got 36 users, and it's just the beginning.
How many different states did you say you're in?
We're in Florida, we're in Pennsylvania, and we're in South Carolina.
What do you say to people that say that they don't rent their own tools out?
Well, it's funny that you should ask. A lot of businesses say that. And I'm always like, well, I hear you. You don't rent your own tools out. But I can tell you that if you have any business, there are tools that you have that you are not your go-to tools. Maybe you have extra scaffolding. Maybe you have extra tools. Maybe it's not your go-to tools, but it's the other tools that you have. And that's where I also tell them, okay, you don't have to rent them out, but it's a good way to promote your business and list it. Even if you don't rent it, you could still list it on the app to get your business and get your name out there.
You know, I hadn't thought about that idea. I think that's a good one. What type of tools do you have on the app?
Well, we actually have a few different types of tools. We have a tractor in South Carolina. We have a couple drills, power tool drills. We have some restoration equipment with blowers and dehumidifiers. We have miter saw. So it's just those are the tools that people have, and those are the tools that they listed. And some of these people have more tools that they can list. It's just we got to create a little bit more momentum to do it. And I think that's where I'm kind of using these platforms to kind of share to people. It's free to list your tools. There's no cost to list tools on ToolBevy. It's free. So it's up to everybody else to list their tools and use it as a promotional or to make some extra money. But they're there and it's no cost yet.
I think that gives them quite an incentive there alone that is not costing them any money to even put the tools there.
Absolutely. I just think that what we really need is people to share it to other people. Even if you don't want to list tools, you might know somebody else that has a business or has tools and they might rent it. So it's really getting people to share the app and the potential And that's really what I hope, because everybody loves the idea, but it's just a matter of just trying to do it without a multi-million-dollar marketing budget. We're just one person developing it.
So right now we're on the ground floor, and the only place that we can go is up.
Yes, we're still on that ground floor for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad to check in with ToolBevy. We'll spread the word and get this out as much as possible. I'll even make a video or two
All
and
right.
pump it out so that we can get this far and wide.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And if anybody's watching, it's very important to just kind of see something grow and to support it. So I appreciate you taking the time to ask me some questions and check in on the app to see how it's going. So thanks.
Great talking to you.
Start saving money today and download ToolBevy to find tools to rent near your project. Use Welcome 5 to receive $5 toward your first rental.